Daily News Stream, June 27, 2025.
Switzerland lifts economic sanctions on Syria, opening a path for more trade and reconstruction aid.
Ukraine and Russia exchanged prisoners of war in latest swap. The exact number exchanged was not disclosed.
Ukraine's parliament approves a bill that would allow Ukrainians to have multiple citizenship, aiming to strengthen global ties and motivate Ukrainians to come back home.
The U.S. asked China to stop Iran from closing the Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most important shipping routes.
I think we've now restored some order to Los Angeles. And
U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance says President Trump restored order to Los Angeles by sending the National Guard and Marines amid violent riots.
U.S. Ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee, says God spared U.S. President Trump for him to be the most consequential president.
No tax on tips.
U.S. service workers widely support President Trump's no tax on tips plan to boost their take-home pay.
President Trump's administration says it is deporting record numbers of violent illegal immigrants.
U.S. President Trump urges the Senate to pass his One Big Beautiful Bill to bring needed tax cuts and strict border policies for U.S. national security.
We're finally going to study the effects on these chemicals and finally get to the bottom.
President Trump's administration launches a $10 million health study for East Palestine, Ohio, U.S. residents after a toxic spill, which the Biden administration refused to address.
U.S. President Trump calls for a special prosecutor to reinvestigate the 2020 election for fraud by the Democratic Party.
The Czech Republic is on the brink of a hepatitis A epidemic. The European Center for Disease Control and Prevention has told vulnerable people to get vaccinated against the potentially fatal disease.
Eye researchers report an increase in severity and prevalence of astigmatism, distorted eye shape causing blurry vision among children following the COVID-19 pandemic.
The H5N1 bird flu virus is evolving clever strategies to dodge the human immune system, raising pandemic concerns. New AI, artificial intelligence analysis shows.
France. 4 butcher shops close after a girl dies and several more are hospitalized in a food poisoning outbreak in Saint-Quentin. Mothers are very worried, with one saying,
Changer toute l'alimentation, plus de viande.
Babies can feel pain before they know what it means, new study shows. Previous research found preterm babies are especially sensitive to pain, likely due to differences in brain development, indicating unborn babies in the womb may be the most sensitive to pain, as they feel strong sensations but lack the ability to manage them.
The Netherlands advises children under 15 not to use social media due to mental health and online safety concerns, recommending screen time limits and outdoor physical activity.
Chinese experts say napping for over 30 minutes increases risks of metabolic syndrome, stroke, heart disease, Alzheimer's, insomnia, and chronic fatigue, especially for older adults. Napping for 15 to 30 minutes is recommended instead.
Research reveals 8 daily habits that can speed up aging. 1. Not drinking enough water. 2. Overworking. 3. Lack of exercise. 4. Excessive headphone use. 5. Poor oral hygiene, such as not brushing your teeth before bed. 6. Sleeping with makeup on. 7. Overuse of screens, including phones, televisions, and computers. 8. Negative thinking. Solutions include sleep well, eat healthy, exercise, care for your mental health, avoid alcohol, smoking, and stay positive.
UK scientists create an at-home foot scanner that can detect the warning signs of heart failure, offering potentially life-saving prevention.
Furry pals. Therapy animal people play a growing role in mental health care across China, experts say.
These 3 types of exercises boost brain health at any age, study finds. 1. Yoga. 2. Tai Chi. 3. Exercise games. Exercise games such as Nintendo Wii Sports, Dance Dance Revolution, and virtual reality fitness games.
Tai Nguyen Province, Vietnam, flooded deeply due to heavy rain. People climbed onto the roof to call for help.
She says their other child was found, but unfortunately passed away.
South Africa declares a national disaster as flooding death toll rises to 92 in the Eastern Cape region.
U.S. state of Alaska declares disaster after flooding tears through Dalton Highway, a vital supply route for remote areas.
U.S. weather alert. Tornado warnings, severe storms, and record heat battered several states last week.
UK records its hottest day of the year so far, reaching as high as 32.2 degrees Celsius, as an amber heat health alert is put in place.
70,000 people were evacuated from southern China amid floods and heavy rainfall last week.
First time I've seen it this bad. Locals react to recent flash floods in Rochester, New York, U.S. region.
A severe heat wave affects the U.S. from the Midwest to Northeast, peaking at a 110 degree Fahrenheit or 43 degrees Celsius heat index, impacting more than 160 million people.
North Dakota U.S. tornado causes 3 deaths, while heavy storms in Minnesota damage homes, down trees, and trigger widespread power outages.
Analysis. The U.S. state of Michigan is experiencing increased heat and humidity due to climate change, bringing dangerous storm surges, more frequent heat waves, and heightened water risks.
Southern France faces a severe air pollution mix from Saharan dust and Canadian wildfire smoke, leading to unhealthy air quality levels in Marseille.
Climate change is blamed for the UK's heat wave this week, making it 100 times more likely, scientists warn.
Europe faces a deep winter freeze if AMOC, Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation, a key Atlantic Ocean current, collapses, making Europe colder even in a warming world, study finds. A previous study found AMOC will collapse with a 95% certainty between 2025 and 2095, most likely around 2057.
Cold spot discovered in the Atlantic Ocean could signal the weakening of the vital AMOC, Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation, ocean current, spelling major trouble for the global climate, study warns.
A global tax on airline tickets could raise over 100 billion euros to address the climate crisis, study finds.
These crops are half the height they should be.
Wheat and corn crops in Canada's prairies and the U.S. Midwest could see the biggest losses by 2100 due to climate change, which threatens the production of major staple food crops worldwide, scientists warn.
Amber waves of grain shrink in America's heartland as wheat farmers struggle due to drought and poor market conditions.
Climate change and extreme weather is destroying Maine, U.S.'s historic lighthouses, scientists warn.
Scientists find a hidden column of hot rock under Oman called a ghost plume, which could raise the land's ground level and change the surface of the Earth there.
World Giraffe Day, held June 21st annually, calls for urgent action to save giraffe people, whose population is declining in Africa.
Chile's vital underwater kelp forests face threats from mining and warming seas, study warns.
Global nonprofit Greenpeace warns of potential environmental disaster after 2 oil tankers collided near the Strait of Hormuz, near Iran, Oman, and the United Arab Emirates, with a large oil spill seen by satellite.
Arctic peatlands, swamps, bogs, etc. are expanding as the climate warms, research shows.
UK, drought and the mosquito-borne Usutu virus, both the result of the climate crisis, threaten beloved blackbird people's survival.
Scientists find alarming levels of toxic metals in Lake Maurepas, Louisiana, U.S., raising concerns about environmental health and potential risks to nearby wildlife and humans.
North Texas, U.S. animal people rescue operator is arrested after 66 animal people are found in deplorable conditions at her property.
It just hurts me so much that my dog / my brother just passed away.
Irvine, California, U.S. animal person trainer and his girlfriend are arrested in connection with the death of 10 dog people.
Yazoo County, Mississippi, U.S. man is arrested for animal person cruelty after a disturbing video surfaces of him abusing a dog person.
U.S. Fairlife Milk and a Dallas-based dairy supplier are again accused of fraud for advertising humane treatment of cow people, while undercover footage shows them committing egregious cruelty against them.
Hong Kong, a 68-year-old man from China is arrested for alleged cruelty against animal people at Sun Yat-sen Memorial Park.
Lucky 2 Times Animal Sanctuary urges the people of Texas, U.S. to help fight cruelty against animal people by reporting abuse and supporting local animal people welfare efforts.
Lithuanian hunters refused to kill a bear person who strolled around the capital Vilnius for 2 days and then safely left the city in peace, despite the government asking them to shoot her under certain circumstances.
U.S. Local and state-level plastic bag bans are helping clean up American coastlines, study finds.
U.S. Space Agency, NASA, discovers that Earth's twin planet, Venus, is not geologically dead, as the landscape rises, expands, and sinks, despite lacking moving tectonic plates like Earth.
We've found that the bogong moth is actually able to use the stars as a true compass.
Bogong moths in Australia use the stars in the Milky Way as a GPS, global positioning system, to fly 1,000 kilometers every year, making them possibly nature's smallest astronomers, new study finds.
It literally pulls the water out of the air.
US, MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology's new window-sized device pulls drinking water from thin air, even in the desert.
University of Sheffield, UK's new tiny robots that travel inside water pipes promise to fix underground water leaks without digging.
Study finds fish people are smarter than previously thought, showing advanced thinking and mental flexibility that allows them to thrive in their natural habitats.
Researchers discover our galaxy's central black hole, Sagittarius A, is spinning near top speed and is pointing towards Earth, raising concerns about powerful radiation negatively affecting our planet.
Mexican authorities rescue 3,400 trafficked baby turtle people in the southern state of Chiapas.
Join us during Petco Love Pick Me.
U.S. state of South Carolina's largest adoption event of the year, Petco Love Pick Me, SC, aims to find loving homes for 2,500 dog and cat people, helping the state keep its promise of becoming a no-kill state.
Analysis: vegan diet gains ground as a triple solution for health, ethics, and environmental sustainability.
London leads the pack as the UK's most dog-person-friendly workplace region, with nearly a quarter of offices having specific policies to support dog-people-friendly environments, says the Kennel Club.
West Virginia, U.S. community works together to support Ohio County Animal Shelter with supplies after the flooding of a facility.
Tacotarian is a plant-based Mexican eatery.
Las Vegas, Nevada, U.S. vegan chain Tacotarian, which landed a spot on 2024's top 100 fast casual list, is planning nationwide expansion.
European Parliament approves historic protection rules for cat and dog people across EU nations, including mandatory microchipping and a ban on sales in pet people stores.
Nepali author Raghu Aditya, vegan, launches a new book, Sakahar Tarkadar, Justifications for Vegetarianism, Veganism, in Kathmandu, Nepal, defending vegan living with research-based insights and addressing animal people rights ethics.
Veg Out magazine lists top 10 destinations for vegan digital nomads on a budget. These places make it easy to live well, work well, and eat like plant-based royalty. 1. Chiang Mai, Thailand. 2. Lisbon, Portugal. 3. Bali, Indonesia. 4. Tbilisi, Georgia. 5. Mexico City, Mexico. 6. Budapest, Hungary. 7. HCMCT, Vietnam. 8. Canggu, Indonesia. 9. Medellin, Colombia. 10. Krakow, Poland.
The global vegan food shift is more than a trend. 10 stats show a rising worldwide movement towards sustainability and health. 1. Market growth. The global vegan food market is expected to reach $30 billion by 2035. 2. Flexitarian diets. 42% of people identify as flexitarian, limiting animal people-based foods, up from 26% 5 years ago. 3. Plant milk popularity. 40.6% of U.S. households purchased plant milk in 2023. 4. Alternative protein sales, set to rise to $36.2 billion by 2030. 5. Government investment. $2.1 billion has been pledged by world governments for alternative protein research and development. 6. Emission reduction potential. Shifting diets to include more plants could cut global emissions by 32%. Fully vegan diets reduce them even more. 7. Land use. Veganism could free up 75% of agricultural land, an area the size of Australia, China, the EU, and the US combined. 8. Vegan population growth. 6.4% of the UK population will be vegan by 2025, double the percentage from 2019. 9. Oat milk sales. Oatly sold 141 million liters of oat milk in the third quarter of 2024, up 13% compared to the same quarter in 2023. 10. Investment confidence. Private investment in alternative proteins reached $1.1 billion in 2024.
Insightful quote of the day. Those who are interested in worldly objects have of necessity misery in them. If there were no misery in them, they would not indulge in those objects. The venerated, enlightened Lord Mahavira, vegan.
For more relevant news from around our planet, please visit suprememastertv.com/news.